My son, we are a podcast, the greatest podcast the world has ever known. Welcome back to Cinestro, of course, your boy Blackspeed. Today we are talking the one, the only, the latest entry in the SPUMC, Kraven the Hunter. Also followed by the latest entry in the Lord of the Rings universe. Lord of the Rings, War of the Roll that Anyways, run the tape.
Cinestro call the cast. It's your weekly gold mine. Stay tuned in. Stay tuned in. They got the beats, got those comic spins. I stay tuned in. Stay tuned.
I guess there was a child left behind.
Yo, boy, man, what you talking about? I don't speak none of that Middle Earth shit, boy.
It's
you can barely do
right?
Rohirrim.
Yes,
Rohirrim.
English, not my friend.
Summon the Rohirrim.
Rohirrim.
Rakim.
Rohan.
All of them. Rakim. All of that. RCA. I don't care.
Tyler Perry presents Lord of the Rings: The War for the Rakim.
Yo, that's actually crazy because look at what my shirt is. Actually, hold up. I don't know if you can see it. Actually,
oh my god!
I forgot I had this on.
Name every member of Wu-Tang right now.
RZA, Jizza, Old Dirty Bastard, Method Man, Ghostface Killer. Fuck. I'm forgetting one.
Fake fan.
Got him.
Kill yourself.
Fake fan, ladies and gentlemen.
We got him.
Got his ass.
Bro,
Take that
there's
shit
like
off.
30 of them niggas, bro.
You gotta get. That's a positive.
That's more than I could name.
Yeah.
Same way we just got AZ. Is the same way we
Thank
just
you,
got Sony
Hulu.
in a fucking lie. Sony, you have fooled me for the last time. It was over. As you know, on this podcast, Luis and I were the biggest proponents of Kraven the Hunter. That shit looked hard. They had Johnny Cash music in the trailer. The last movie I saw with Johnny Cash music in the trailer was Logan, and that shit was an absolute banger. This was not.
Logan, this is not.
Wait. Hold on. That wasn't a bit. You guys were actually hyped for this dog.
Yeah,
shit?
I was.
Yeah,
I was locked.
They were legitimately
I didn't think that it would be
looking
good,
forward to
but they did.
You saw Madam Web and we're still locked in. That's incredible. That's
said,
no
hear me out.
self-preservation.
Hear me out. I had hope. Obviously, that doesn't exist in this SPUMC, so we're done. It's over. Anyways, we'll start going out the room.
I was
only
excited for it because I like the filmmaker J.C. Shandor, who, if you don't know, he directed a lot of great movies. He directed A Most Violent Year with Oscar Isaac and Jessica Chastain. He directed Shot Caller, which is a great movie. He directed Triple Frontier with Ben Affleck, Oscar Isaac, Pedro Pascal. So he's a great filmmaker. He makes really good movies. So I was like, okay. You have a good filmmaker in J.C. Shandor. You have a character like Kraven the Hunter, who audiences do not give a fuck about, so you can do anything. They did do anything. they fucking went and went above and beyond when it came to like the story. But I was excited because I thought, okay, this is a good basis for something. You have a good. It's what we talk about all the time. That competent people make competent shit, right? So I was like, you have a great a filmmaker. Let him cook. But the problem was the motherfuckers who wrote this goddamn movie. You know who wrote this shit? So 2 of the 3 writers on this movie are Art Markham and Matt Holloway. You want to know some of the movies they wrote? Here we go. Iron Man. All right, fine. 2008, Iron Man. Punisher Warzone. Transformers The Last Night. Men in Black International. Uncharted. And Kraven the fucking Hunter. So, just another dog shit movie to add to the collection. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bit. I really was excited and kind of like looking forward to it just because J.C. Shandor was directing, but this was very obviously not his movie. He just showed up, got that fucking paycheck, and dipped. And you know what? The sooner we forget about this blemish on his CV, the better off we are as a country, I think.
And that's one of the biggest consistent issues with the SPUMC. The writing is it's people who do not understand the characters and do not really have any real attachment to them. They're just there to do some shit for the studio. And it's apparent. It's not good. It has no life. The acting is flat. The only cool thing was like for 2 seconds his costume was like comic accurate at the end, and that was like the best bright spot of the whole
that looked
film.
like ass.
That was it.
That was horrible. No,
I think AZ had something he wanted to say. What you got, AZ? What's on your mind?
Right. So real quick, for those of you who refuse to see this movie, which good on you. This is our job. We suffer for your amusement. You're welcome. The plot of this movie is very simple. There's a little boy. His name is Sergei Kravenov, and he grows up with a dad who's like some vague Russian mobster or like criminal organization guy. It's not very fleshed out, but he has himself and then his brother. And one day, while on an African hunting trip, he gets attacked by a lion, and he gets some fucking lion blood on him. And a black woman puts a little bit of, I guess,
voodoo priestess.
A literal potion.
A literal potion. A literal plot potion down his throat, and it mixes with his lion DNA, giving him all of the powers of a lion, like super strength, speed, stamina, sight, the ability to, for some reason, ram a car with your body and pit maneuver it. I don't know how that
running
works.
Powers.
Just the ability to also slide.
Parkour
powers. Yeah, also the ability to slide across concrete with your bare feet and have nothing injure you, but you have to dodge bullets because apparently your skin's inconsistent with its level of armoring. I don't know what the fuck. But basically, it's just him getting revenge on a bunch of people, doing a big old hunt, because that's what he is. He's Kraven the Hunter, and he won't let you forget it, because almost every other line of this dialogue is literally this. I have this knife in my hand. Watch this. I am a hunter. I hunt.
No, I will call you out on this. He does have an American accent, not a forced, really bad Russian accent. So
that is actually that. I think that hurts.
I would have preferred Russian.
I'm honest. If I'm honest, like as shit as this movie is, with the track record that we've had for Sony, like they've had back-to-back ass. They had Madam Web. They followed up quickly with a lob over to Venom: The Last Dance, and then
back to back.
Heard in the toilet bowl that is Kraven. This whole movie
to this day,
it's very disjointed. Like, I don't know if it was chopped to hell in the editing room, but I feel like they did the opposite of what they did with Venom, where instead of having it chopped to bits where all these scenes were way too short, all of the scenes are way too long. They'll have a consistent action shot going on, right? And then it'll cut to, like say he's in the middle of a car chase, right? It will cut multiple times to the reaction of the people he's chasing instead of just showing him chasing after the car.
It's bad. It's a bad movie overall. Like, the writing is bad, the direction is bad.
Yeah.
The acting, I think I texted you on the group chat. This movie, I don't text movie theaters because, like I said, I'm a fucking cinephile. I respect the sanctity of cinema, right? I was texting during this entire fucking movie because I was bored out of my goddamn mind. And I told you guys, I was on Twitter and shit. It was bad. And I remember texting you guys in the group chat, and I was like, what did I say? Oh, that they're basically like the cast is way too talented for this movie, and they fumbled it. Russell Crowe, regardless of how you feel about the latter half of his career, consistent, and he's good, and he's a welcome presence. He was my favorite
Maximus, right?
Yeah, he's my favorite part.
Oh my god,
he's honestly my favorite part of this movie. I think he's having a lot of fun. He kind of doesn't give a shit, and it works. I think he's a really good bad guy. Aaron Taylor Johnson, I think he's a good actor. Has a disgusting taste in what to do. He picks dog shit project.
Fire your agent.
Disgusting taste in general.
Oh yeah, and women too. Yeah. Well, he was a victim. Let's not victim blame on the podcast. But
that's my favorite.
I like Fred Ettinger. I think he's a really good actor, and I really like him. I just think this movie didn't serve him well. And Ariana DeBose is an Oscar-winning actress. What the fuck are we doing? She had nothing to work with. Nothing,
bro. And
it was atrocious. It was terrible.
To tack on to that, all around, it's like they were just there. They weren't delivering. They weren't performing. Ariana DeBose, love her. Her lines felt so flat. ATJ, I'm gonna touch on the accent thing. This shit was all over the place. These niggas was Russian for 30 seconds, then all of a sudden they're in New York. Then they go to London. What is happening? What is this? What is it?
The location does give you a whiplash.
The coolest part was at the very beginning when he was in the prison.
Yeah,
he was like, he said the hunter's a myth. He
that's why they released that part early.
And he said, the Oscars die, or whatever he said, that there's truth to every myth. I was like, let's fucking go. And he's doing all that cool shit. And as soon as they went to New York, I already knew it's over because nothing good happens in New York. Nothing. I cannot. You know what happened? Never mind. Like I said, I'm not gonna get the FBI at my door.
The only good thing that's happened in New York.
FBI joke. FBI. This is a joke. But no, for real. It just the film felt like it was so jumpy, and then we spent about an hour worth of movie watching this child have generational and familial trauma.
Gerardo mentioned that.
Like it's a whole bunch of hey, this kid is scarred physically, mentally, emotionally, and he's gonna grow up in
really fucking long.
Yeah,
but that could have been 15 minutes.
I don't need a movie.
We didn't need everything.
That whole background.
I don't need a whole backstory of this kid's problems. Do like a couple flashbacks. Show me him being a super nigga. You saw that shit at the beginning. He was Captain America, but violent and Russian. Show me that shit.
So I almost forgot. This was giving me a headache, the whole goddamn movie. Two things. One, his powers are wildly inconsistent. Like I genuinely do not know what the fuck he does, because the moment where it's near the end where he's being set up in a trap because he thinks his brother's at the safe house, but he's not. And they have a guy with an RPG stationed like yards away to take a chunk out of the building,
like a mile away.
Literally a mile away. Like this motherfucker is like far, right? And so he shoots the RPG at the building window where Kraven is, and Kraven tumbles down the crumbling building after being
more than
100 explosion.
More
than 100 feet.
It was
and he gets
the side of a mountain.
And he gets and he gets crushed by rubble and everything, and he's just like fine. Right, but then he'll have to do things like dodge gunfire. So then you're wondering, like, how durable is he? And then when he gets in a fight with the Rhino hits him hard. But then again, the Rhino's not even that durable, which I don't like. It's to the point to where I'm not expecting like any suspense or narrative intrigue from the SPUM cinematic universe. I don't expect it, but at least humor me.
Spunk.
Sorry, I don't expect like a level of cinematic competence, right? But at least some consideration to build some stakes about how strong this character is.
The only time Kraven
the whole time I'm
just
like, he's not. Nothing can hurt him. Nothing can hurt him. Like I feel nothing.
No. The only time Kraven should be in a movie, not even Sinister Six, is The Last Hunt with Spider-Man.
Yes.
Like that's how you end Spider-Man's arc, and you leave, and you bring in Miles Morales.
I almost forgot. On top of that,
speaking of Spider-Man, bro, let me tell you.
He just reminded me.
In great Sony fucking fashion, they had to connect it to Spider-Man somehow, and I think they did. They connected in some bullshit dumbass way. This man, part of the plot is he's going through all this shit, trying to save his brother, blah blah blah. Whoop-de-fucking do. He meets this character called the Foreigner, who has some type of firearm that can induce hallucinations, and he gets shot with that, like 3 bullets of that shit. And guess what this motherfucker hallucinates? I'll give you one guess. One guess.
So you a spider.
Spiders.
Yeah.
This shit is so.
We did it.
Appropriate relationship.
We did it.
This shit is so ass. I can't.
It could have been the fucking spider people in the Amazon or whatever the fuck.
So what's really fascinating is multiple times they're trying to go for like a hey, comic book fans, you want to watch this, even though like we're not watching it because we want to. But there's like little lore nods. Like for instance, I had forgotten that canonically Kraven and Chameleon are half brothers. I forgot that. I did not remember that until I watched this movie. I was like, oh yeah, right. The other Spider-Man.
That's like the only thing I know.
Oh
about
yeah,
the
I totally knew that.
Yeah. Poor man's Mystique. Yeah, I mean,
yes.
Whatever.
And let's say you had an inkling, like you kind of remember that from the comics. You'd be like, "What the fuck is going on?" The moment you hear the really bad Russell Crowe ADR over the little boy that's supposedly impersonating his father, you'd be like, "Oh, that's Chameleon," and it's just like
that's how it happened for me. I was like, he's way too good at that. Why is he
Look at him.
He said
He's a
he's like chameleon. Look at him. He's getting pretty good at that.
That
He's like chameleon.
also,
Bourgeois.
man,
Here.
this
Ooh.
The void.
this not this game. This movie feels
Who's that
like
boy?
somebody who is in Hollywood, right, and has a couple of famous friends that you never really get to meet. You know they exist, but they just keep name dropping them in conversation, and you're like, are you lying to me? You don't even know this nigga, do you? Like, you don't know Mary J. Blige. You don't know Spider-Man, nigga. Because there's multiple times where they'll name drop a Spider-Man character. Like, for instance, like a really pivotal background character that you never see, but he's mentioned is Miles Warren, aka the Jackal, who kicks off the Clone Saga and is responsible for a lot of gene splicing within Spider-Man comics. You got other motherfuckers getting mentioned for no goddamn reason at all whatsoever. Like, for instance, Dimitri at the very end, he hits him with the "I'm something of a chameleon myself."
Hey, Fred, respect Fred
Somebody-
Etchinger. He was amazing. I loved him.
It's just,
Did they
it's just
show
like-
what the chameleon looks like when he's like?
They
in
did.
his
They
own-
did.
Showed his
He
magic.
looks like yeah. So
I
he
didn't
looks,
mind that. He looks like he looks in the comics.
Yeah,
Yeah,
accurate.
but- no, it was
No.
accurate.
It's not the accuracy. It's
He
the
looks
way it
fucking dumb in the comics. Let's
They-
be real.
they
He's got a dumb,
CGI'd
bland
he
face.
bro.
He looks like a fucking
He does.
mannequin with a split down his face.
Yeah,
Like that's
he
that's
just-
what it looked
that's
like.
not the
It's just
issue.
they
They
made him-
CGI'd. They basically George Lopez, a freaking ATJ's head onto this
That did
tiny
look
body.
bad. That did look
And I was
bad.
like,
But they also-
this
that
is
didn't
not how
work
this
for me.
should go.
That's not how that
No,
works.
That was so bad.
Also-
That's not how his powers
also
work in
what's-
the comics.
What's quite
Yeah, I know how his
interesting.
powers work.
What's quite interesting also that I can't figure out is why they got like D-lister Spider-Man people from like way the fuck off. For instance, Calypso intrinsically tied to the myths of Kraven. That's the thing.
Yes.
That's his wife, canonical.
But she's a
However,
villain.
for some reason they didn't go full on into her with the mystic side. They just kind of flirt with that and they
They
make
made
her
her
a
a lawyer.
for some god
Yeah.
for some reason, which makes even less sense when you like
Mhm.
start to think about it. And then on top of that, you have Foreigner, who greatest feat, by the way, is just being Silver Sable's ex-husband. Like that's it. That's it.
Literally.
Literally, that's all he does. If you didn't think it was clear in the movie, his whole power is that when he makes eye contact with you, you're frozen and you think he's moving at super speed, but really he's just like really fast and make a move before you snap out of it.
Yeah.
Like it seemed like his power was counting. Like I don't know what the fuck they were trying to go for.
Yeah.
It's just
They turned that
Every-
nigga
I thought
into
his
the
power
Count
was
from
kinda
Sesame
cool.
Street.
every
I thought it
part
was
of this
kind of fun.
it
I
was
agree.
it was cool and fun. It's just like this movie has so many locations, so much going
I
on,
like Christopher.
so
Abbott.
much happening
Chris
in it
Kravitz and Kravitz.
that you forget people are there. I forgot multiple times Foreigner was a part of this movie, and then he showed up at the end and made Kraven trip on ayahuasca,
But
and
here-
I was oh right.
But look. Here's the
Here.
thing about just to jump off like what Graham had said
Yeah.
earlier about the fact that it's like he's like the only way Kraven should ever be introduced in a Spider-Man adjacent story is the Last Hunt, and that which then kicks off Miles Morales' debut, and that's it. But and that's the problem with the SPUMC is that there is no Spider-Man. The one thing that ties all these characters together does not technically exist in their universe.
And where they really fucked up was teasing us in that Morbius trailer. Remember in that trailer we got that one wall shot of all Spider-Man you tease, it's Toby.
Mm-hmm.
And then you completely take it out the movie, and it's almost like they made it a point, like, oh shit, we teased this. Let's like actually never ever even think about putting Spider-Man into any
also-
Spider-Man spin-off
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
And
Well-
they have the film rights. It's just that they're so aware that fucking Marvel is better at handling their character than them that they're scared to do anything.
But I also don't
Yeah.
think any of the actors would come back. If
No,
anyone,
no.
it would
Only
be
if it's a
Andrew.
Marvel.
It would be Andrew, and I
Yeah.
feel like he's at the point in his career where he'd be like, The movie has to be good. The script has to be good. I'm not coming in. I don't need money. I'm not coming in to do a cash grab fucking spin off that'll tie the SPUMC.
I'm not 22 years old or however it was. And like a big check.
You take into account like how he was in No Way Home. He came back for that, and people had a whole resurgence on Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. An entire 180. And when he's seen the consistent dog shit,
he is the second best.
Put out, and what they've done to his cinematic universe from the start, right? He's not coming back. There is no. He comes back.
But we did just get news. I mean, this happened a couple of days ago, right? That the SPUMC is no more. That they're done.
God,
the SPUMC is done. Sony is done with their fucking universe. And so, what does this mean for the future of these characters moving forward? Who knows?
Who cares?
Who cares?
Finally, gonna see.
Honestly, I don't ever need to see Kraven. I don't need to see. I mean, obviously, we want Venom. We need that black suit on Peter. Like that's got to happen. Anyone else? Fuck off. They can. We don't ever have to see him again. Keep him in animation.
I 100%, 1000% agree.
Unmute AZ.
The SPUMC has got to go. The SPUMC is it. This should be the point where they're like, you know what, we fucked up enough. Kevin Feige, Marvel, Disney, here you go. Fix the shit that we ruined. Luckily, there's multiverse, so they can find a way to erase all and be like, oh, this was just Earth 297 or whatever the fuck they want to call it. We've seen too many terrible entries into this universe that have managed to mangle every single character involved. And I, for one, really hope that this is the last SPUMC film we will ever get in the history of time. I know they're talking about we can include Spider-Man now so we can make it make sense. Don't do that, please.
Include these fucking nuts in your mouth.
There's so few things left I have in this earth that keep me going. And if they fuck up Spider-Man, I'm gonna crash out, bro.
Yeah, don't worry. Marvel's already fucking up Spider-Man. I don't need it to be ruined in the SPUMC also.
Wait. I almost forgot to mention the fucking what's his name, bro? I don't even think they really gave him a name.
Oh wait, hold on. Before you go, I just want a quick thing. I said that JC Shandor directed Shot Caller. No, he didn't. He directed Margin Call. Sorry. I was confused and I'm nervous on the spot.
Nobody besides us will know that.
So no one calls me out.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Nobody besides us will know that film.
All three people who are not just you on other devices.
But I'm sure Jason Sandor's mom is going to call you out.
Louis, you know he didn't direct Shot Caller. That's the wrong.
The fans gonna put Louis like the way
I feel like
JC Shandor fans.
I made one mistake and TikTok ate me alive. How do you have a film podcast and you don't know what you're talking about?
That was a Scorsese.
That was fun. That was Scorsese.
There's levels.
Yeah.
But okay. But the main thing that I think out throughout this entire fucking movie that I had the biggest problem with is the lack of an actual antagonist, because you think it's the Rhino. Right, like you think it's that guy. Also, his license plate says Rhino on his car, which is goddamn
so lame. It was ass.
But the whole time,
Rhino ass.
He's not threatening. He's not convincing as an actually terrifying force of nature. He's a loser in the flashback, and he's a loser in the present day. This time, he just got eczema. I don't know.
He got eczema.
Right? You want to know? And then at the very end. At the very end, when everything is resolved, Kraven corners his father, who apparently was behind not only the kidnapping of his brother, plot to systematically eliminate his enemies, which there's so many holes in that, but I guess, fuck it, whatever, we ball. But in order to end his father's life, he doesn't kill him. No, this nigga has bears. Kraven calls a bear. I don't know where he got the bear. I don't know how he knows the bear.
The bears.
Bear knows Kraven.
The bears.
Bear kills his dad. And then the movie ends when he sits there in his go-go vest and everybody claps.
In his Kraven pose, doing the Kraven.
One thing just before we kind of like move on and like wrap up the Kraven talk, I do want to say, like, for a movie that's this dog shit, if you have Aaron Taylor Johnson, you need to lean into that as much as you can. And the fact that there's only 2 shirtless scenes in this movie is Honest to God, is blasphemous.
Not wrong.
No, I swear, bro. Because how the fuck do you have Aaron Taylor Johnson, who is, I think, objectively, besides Graham, who apparently just hates him. How do you have?
I don't hate him. Y'all just be blazing this man a little too much.
Real. That's real.
He's jealous.
How do you have one of the hottest men in Hollywood and only have 2 shirtless scenes? That's crazy. He should have been shirtless.
Go full frontal
The whole time. Yeah, just make a porno, bro.
I wanna see it
Just the vest.
Yeah.
Just
the vest, exactly.
Only
Just
the
the furry
But
vest.
in all honesty, I do think that just my biggest gripe with this, other than the fact that it was terribly written and just a bad time, was just how talented the cast was and just how little all of them had to do. Because I totally forgot about Christopher Abbott, which is a crime because he's a phenomenal actor and I liked his scenes because I think he's just so great. And the character was dog shit.
He
man.
sells it.
Fuck.
Sony
He sells the
presents
fuck out of it.
Megalopolis.
No, dude. And yet, I had a better time at Kraven than I did at Megalopolis.
Megalopolis
Crazy.
is crazy.
Megalopolis.
I'm so excited for our best and worst of this year. It's gonna be an
That is
interesting
not
year.
hard to do because Megalopolis is the worst film, not in
Y'all are gonna hate my
2024,
best.
but the worst film of this decade. So,
All right. So
I'm
should we just
wrong,
give our ratings?
ratings for
And then
Ratings.
Graham's hype meter, and then we'll move on to
Graham
I'm
said,
really
right?
anticipating watching this movie.
That's a thing?
Yep.
Yeah,
let's go with
we haven't
Graham.
seen it.
What's your hype meter for Kraven?
Yeah, how hype are you to see this movie?
How many lion teeth out of 10 do you give it?
Man,
How many
0.03.
lion teeth?
0.03. Not even
0.03. So like if I'm really blitzed one night and it's on, Max, like, and I mean I'll have to sit there and flip through everything. And I might land on that.
And
but
Maybe
probably-
doesn't help. I'll let you know right now.
I'd
does
really
not
watch
help.
Madam Web.
No.
That's crazy.
His reasoning.
I don't want
his
to watch any of
reasoning.
these. I'm gonna be honest.
Give us your reasoning though, Graham, because I think it's solid.
Cindy Sweeney's my reason.
Yes, that's the only reason.
Yeah.
That's my reason.
Yeah, I like
That's
whole
my
milk,
reason.
not.
He said he's
I
a
mean,
misogynist.
Yeah, whole milk.
I'm not a misogynist. I just think she's a talented woman.
Yeah, I think she's got 2
I
really
think she's
big
talented.
talents.
No.
Acting and screenwriting, of course.
Acting and producing. She's a great producer.
No.
Yeah. We all knew that's what you meant.
Yeah. Come on,
I
guys.
gotta-
ratings we got.
I
Let's
gotta-
start with,
I guess
with,
I'll
AZ.
go next.
Go ahead. What's your
Yeah.
rating,
Okay.
bro?
To be honest, man, I feel hollow after watching this. Fucking, god damn. Even a 5 feels too high, bro. A 5 feels way too high. This shit's like, this is the 3rd time these niggas done got my time and money. It's like a -1, bro. This shit ass, bro. Tu pinche basura. This shit fucking garbage, bro. This shit actual hot ass, bro. My friend looked this up on a piracy site. It has been 3 days and this bitch is in DVD quality. It's that level of ass. They've never worked this fast in their fucking lives, bro. But this movie, this shit is a 1 on its best day, bro. I'll give it a 1. Fuck this goddamn movie, bro. This shit suck, nigga.
Totally valid response.
That's
Izzy.
insane. That's insane ratings.
Oh my
All right,
God.
Luis, what you got? What's your rating?
I think I'm a little more generous in my rating just overall. I think I'm gonna give this movie like a 3, a 3.5. It's bad. It's very bad. Everything about it is bad. The directing, the writing, the acting, it's just a bad time. It's boring. Just not even fun. And what's really frustrating is that the action scenes, the 2 action scenes that we get in this movie, I think are pretty cool. I think the action and the choreography, I think is actually like really well done. And I was like, man, if we would have had more of that, if y'all would have let JC Chandor cook, maybe we would have had something. But there's just flashbacks too fucking long. Everyone's dog shit. Fucking script sucks. It's a terrible movie. I'm gonna give it a 2. I talked
Wait.
myself down from a 3. I'm gonna give it a 2. It's atrocious.
I want to change mine to a 2 because I remember at the end when he pulled that guy with the fucking logs into the axe and it split him in half.
That was cool.
That was badass.
Cool.
He threw a bear trap in a guy's face. That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. The action's cool. Yeah, but it's a 2.
The action's good. The action's pretty good.
Gerardo, what you got, bro?
I think I have to agree. I think you said everything that I was thinking. It's got good action. It's got nothing else going for it. It's got really talented people in it. It's like 1 star for the action and 1 star for Christopher Abbott, and that's fucking it. That's it. Nothing else. That's the best I can give
it. High rise. Christopher Abbott high rise.
Where are all my Abbotts out right now?
my
Abbotteers.
My Abbotters.
He's incredible. Wolfman Pod. Stay tuned.
Abolitionist.
Yes.
Abolitionist. That's great. Kind of racist.
Off the dome.
I'm glad I didn't suggest it.
Off the dome. I'm gonna get cooked.
Your turn, man.
I'm gonna get cooked just like this film is fucking cooked, bro. It's not good. When I watched it not opening night, hell no. Past week. What am I doing? I watched this past weekend. Initially, I had it at a 4 because my bar was so low. With SPUMC films, I automatically start. I don't give them the benefit of being 6. Usually it starts at 6 and it goes up and down from there. I started off at a 4 because the last SPUMC film I watched was at like a 3.5 to a 4, which was Venom: The Ass Dance. This film immediately. Okay, let me rephrase. Didn't immediately drop to like a 3.5 to a 2 because that first opening scene in the prison was hard. The action scene's hard. That if they had leaned into that more, this film would have been solid. If they had fixed the shitty script, hey, it might have been 6+. But they didn't do that. So
they did the opposite of what movies this bad should have done. They should have relied less on story and plot and just been like, hey, look, here's a cool action set piece and Aaron Taylor Johnson shirtless. Boom. Automatic 6-star movie.
Exactly.
They fucked that up.
They tried too hard to take it takes itself too serious. It wants to try and put itself on the same level as, say, Captain America, Winter Soldier, Guardians 3, any of the big MCU films that have, that stand out. And it just falls so flat, just like the acting, the script, etc. The color of this film, dog shit. I give this a motherfucking 2. Like this is too bad. 2 stars down, 2 thumbs down because it's 2 dog shit. 2 ass, 2 cheeks, 2 mid. Kraven the Midter. I don't ever want to see another SPUMC film as long as I live.
I would just also
some bullshit.
I would just also mention before we move on because we forgot to. Nobody mentioned this at all. That's how bad it was. There's like moments of there's moments of comedy in this movie, and they're atrocious.
I didn't hear them.
That's the point. That's the problem. They're supposed to be funny. No one fucking laughed. It's cringy, and you're just like I physically groaned and just like tensed up. It's really bad.
Were there other people in the theaters when y'all went?
Barely.
Let me tell you something. No.
I was the only person.
Let me tell you something.
I was by myself.
When I purchased the tickets, my theater was empty on the app. It was empty. I was like, good. I'm gonna get this shit out the way. If it's ass, I can be like, boo, fuck this. When I got to the theater, that shit was full, and I was like, all of y'all are either here to hate watch, or all of y'all don't know ball because there's no way y'all are actually here to watch this shit.
It's probably the latter. They don't know ball, and people are
there's no way. It was so bad that the security guard of the theater came in, sat down, and watched that shit and had his radio going off.
He thought nobody was in there.
Matt, you watched that shit.
That shit empty. I said, bro, I'm right here. I'm right here.
You're telling me you booked the ticket? Nobody. You get there, theater full of people.
I shit you.
I
was like, these are plants.
Matthew,
these are
those
Christ
weren't
actors.
real people.
They're in big Sony's pocket because hell no.
Wake up, sheeple. Wake up, sheeple. The Kravening is happening, and it's not the Kravening we thought it was.
The security guard's radio was more entertaining than the fuck ass movie you were watching.
Yeah, some shit was going on in House 8. I was like, let's fucking go. I'm gonna hear that before I watch this movie. What's they doing in there? What they doing up in there? What Kravening going on in there? But yeah, overall, this is just ass.
Dog shit. Yeah, hella ass.
there should be a real like battle between Marvel and Sony to really get those rights back to Marvel. A real war.
No.
The real lord of Marvel
Slobbing on it.
Marvel characters needs to happen. Let's pivot from something. Let's pivot from some bullshit into something that's a lot better. Lord of the Rings, the War of the. I'm not even gonna try and say that the War of the Rock.
War of the R word.
The Rock.
He said War of the R word.
And not the
War of
good
the
one.
R.
Yeah.
War of the
The
R.
Rocky
And
Horror
not the
Picture
bad
Show.
one. Not the bad one.
The War of the Mandem with the funny accents and
The
the,
War of
and
the
the, and the
Random
elves.
The OT
And the
bop.
elves. That one.
Was the
Well,
long-
unfortunately, only one of us got to watch it, but it is the biggest Lord of the Rings fan in this bitch. So
And,
We'll let
and,
him
to, and to
He's throwing
and
up
to
his
add
Lord of
to,
the Rings
to add to
sign. I
that,
think
to
he's
add
ready
to
to
that,
talk.
we should have watched. We all should have watched that movie
I
instead
should
of
watch that shit
Kraven.
instead of this.
I
dog
told
shit.
you. I told y'all. I tried.
I should
Okay,
have
wait.
listened, Graham.
Graham, as someone who has never seen any Lord of the Rings, and I have only seen the Hobbit
What?
movies, which suck. I want you to
Hobbits-
explain this to me in a way that I can get this. Make this
It's
for me. Sell me on this
okay.
show. Oh,
It
all right. I'm
almost-
already in.
Animation. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I think it's 200 years. I think before the ring is found, which is like the start-
183.
183 years before like Gollum or Bilbo found the ring. So I guess before the Hobbit, technically.
Okay.
And I am sorry that you watched the Hobbits. and
I am
not
too.
the Lord of the Rings,
Atrocious
'cause-
movies.
Oh, absolutely
Awful.
abysmal. To this day, I haven't watched the rest of the
Kinda like
second
those.
movie or the third one. I go figure.
Yeah, I'm missing out on much.
But this
Fuck
is
you.
yeah. You don't have to necessarily know a ton of stuff. It helps too because like
Okay.
it's a bunch of callbacks. So like what this is, it's kind of like the origin story of the stronghold in the Two Towers, Helm's Deep.
That sounds kind
And-
of cool.
So I had no idea. I mean I know Lord of the Rings just basically from the movies and the few couple hundred pages I've read, but I'm not like that deep. So I don't know who Helm Hammer Fist or Hammer Hand really was.
Right.
Heimer
But
David.
he's that man. He's that man.
Got them bangs.
And,
You got them hammer hands. Wreck-It
dude,
Ralph.
it's-
fast.
it's like it's like 2 hours and it doesn't get boring in any parts, you know, like it doesn't drag. That's one thing.
Oh,
like,
it's a film.
Yes,
oh
it's a
yeah,
movie.
yeah. It's
Oh,
not
I thought
serious.
I thought it was an animated series. Okay.
No, it's a movie.
It was. I think it was
It was
supposed
in
to
the
be
theater.
Not
an
your
animated
kind
series.
of anime. AZ.
on Netflix, but it's dude, the background animations of it, like just the back shots.
I'm getting my ticket right now. Hold on.
Fire. They're fire.
Everyone went.
Do you see my name?
I just bought my
You-
ticket right now.
Yeah.
One does
I
not
just saw your
simply
name,
fuck into
actually.
Mordor.
Insane.
That is getting clipped. That is getting
The-
clipped.
the
Clip it
back
right
shot?
now.
The back shot?
That right there is all the marketing this movie
Yeah,
gets
there you
alone.
go.
They-
Dude,
we're
it'll
gonna
make
get
$1 billion.
call from,
No, to be as someone who's only seen the trailer, one thing I did take away from it, I was like, damn, dude, the animation is so fucking good. It
Yeah.
reminds me of the Castlevania Netflix
Yeah.
series, which I think
Yes.
is incredible and is animated superbly.
Beautifully.
And so one of
beautifully.
the things that really kind of drew me as someone who's not a big Lord of the Rings guy, I was like, damn, it is animated. That makes it a little bit more palatable. I was like, but also the animation is really good. And
Yeah.
and that's already
Take
already a
this.
winner.
This is the best comparison I could give it, and I've watched Ghibli movies, but like
Oh,
the
that, you
background.
said that a little disparagingly. Let's
Yeah,
Let's
like
relax.
I've seen a couple of them, but not all of them. But
not
like,
all of them.
the how can I say this? Like the style of say like the
Yeah.
forest and like just the backgrounds behind the characters themselves.
Mhm.
It looks like they
Stale.
hand painted
Yeah.
every little piece. It's beautiful and
wow.
the
In the
character.
Wolf of the Rohirrim?
The character animation isn't like as polished as like Castlevania or even Creature Commandos. Like it's still like when there's a shit ton of people on the screen, like their faces, like if you really look, like their faces are fucked up. Like it's like a mid 2000s, like like they're all hand drawn.
Yeah,
so it's
they're
like
all
not
smeared.
perfect.
But
Like when you see,
but there's something kind of like beautiful and kind of like charming about hand drawn
that's what
animation.
I was, for sure. It works with this, and dude, it's crazy. The Eagles. So you haven't watched much Lord of the Rings, but like the Eagles in Middle Earth are like, they're basically gods, and they play a pretty pivotal role in this, dude. And it's just like, oh,
Those are the I know enough about Lord of the Rings for like just like colloquial conversation.
They were in the Hobbit. I forgot about that.
Yeah, they're in the Hobbit.
Yeah,
they save them after the Goblin Mountain.
And they're the reason the tide turns in the war.
I know the quotables,
dude. So the Two Towers to me, well, it depends on what mood you find me in, but the Two Towers is my favorite Lord of the Rings movie, and that spends 2 hours of the 4.5 hour long movie in Helm's Deep, and you're like learning all the lore about it, like how they knew about these secret passages through the tunnel, and like how it's great.
I think historically speaking, for most people, I think the Two Towers is kind of like the best movie of the trilogy. Like probably one of the best movies ever made, right?
Probably the other than Episode 5, Star Wars, I would say it's the best sequel ever made. And
that's the thing, man.
Yeah,
motherfuckers just don't make movies like they used to. They shot them shit back to back.
And while it's cold as fuck, you're in like the mountains, dude. They was making Sean Bean climb up a mountain while they was all riding helicopters because the fool didn't like to fly, dude. And I'm like,
all right, you better climb up.
Ain't nobody doing this anymore. Like
they don't
do that. They
don't make them like they used to.
Nah. Nope.
So what would you rate the movie?
And not knowing Paul.
This is actually what blew my mind. I got on there earlier because Brian Cox is the voice of Helm Hammerhand.
My goat.
It's 10 out of 10. He's phenomenal. Yeah. And also Eowyn narrates the whole movie. The daughter of the Rohirrim king. And like she's a bad bitch in the movies. So it's like when you hear her, it's like, okay, this is tight. Like they do a lot to bring it like full circle.
Yeah. But I think to jump out to piggyback off what you said, Philippa Boyens, who co-wrote the Lord of the Rings trilogy, is a producer on this movie.
Okay.
And
Peter Jackson, I think, is an executive producer or something in this. Like he had.
So of course it's going to be good. You have to.
But also Peter Jackson did the Hobbits too, and.
So, like, yeah, true.
Like it's tough, but dude, I got on there and it's got a 56% on Rotten Tomatoes, and that's insane to me. But that's animation though. That's animation nowadays. Unless it's a Ghibli movie, they don't give a fuck.
Also, I think another thing that's hurt it quite a bit is the reception from Rings of Power. I've heard that was not very well.
Season 2, nah.
Oh, Graham,
season 2 is good. Season 2 is good. Season 2 is good.
But I think you're right. I think you're right. I think people were like, Hobbit was bad. Season 1 of Rings of Power is kind of mid. I don't.
It was mid.
I don't want to watch season 2 of Rings of Power. Another kind of Lord of the Rings. It's good, so it works in its favor. But if they keep this up, it's going to start getting into Star Wars, Marvel.
Well, and that's what I'm scared about, the Hunt for Gollum stuff. I would much rather them stick with this. But the problem is with Hunt for Gollum, if they're really going to do that, you only got so many years until Viggo's old or Ian McKellen's dead. I mean, brother's 88. Like he's brother's gonna die. Oh, bro, they used deep cut footage of Christopher Lee at the end of this.
No.
Oh, dude, I started crying. Dude, it was so good. It's so good. But so I would give it like did I give it like a solid 7.5?
Solid 7.5. I also feel like I haven't seen this pushed anywhere. I still like one trailer for it on YouTube.
The marketing was terrible.
It's Warner Bros, so I don't expect anything less.
It's not gonna make this shit ain't gonna make much money, and that's what sucks because I feel like this kind of animation from like where they did this past, like say do the first stage with Morgoth. Like I don't even want to see Sauron. I don't want to hear about the fucking rings. I want the Silmarils. I want like I want to see like, the Istari when like they were like gods when Gandalf was like a god.
Yeah. In terms of like I would say Lord of the Rings prequels, right? What do you? I don't know what that is.
Lord of the Rings prequels? Oh, dude, I'll watch this over
He's
the
saying
Hobbit.
wrap it up. He's saying wrap it up.
Oh. All right. Would you rank? How would you rank the prequels of things, like in terms of like the Hobbit trilogy, this, and then Rings of Power? Like, what would you rank that?
War for Rohirrim, the first Hobbit movie, Rings of Power season 2. Yep, Rings of Power season 2, Rings of Power season 1,
and then the other Hobbit
Desolation of Smog, and
Yeah.
then the Battle of the Five Armies. Whatever the fuck that- I think that's what it's called.
Sounds about right.
Okay. So it's from what I'm hearing, it's accessible, a pretty good but underrated Lord of the Rings property thing, and I might check it out. It's a little cartoon.
I feel like it's gonna get a pretty big cult following once it hits VOD and like give it like 10-15 years time.
Yeah.
Like this is one of the best stories or one of the best movies in the Lord of the Rings universe, considering by then we'll probably have a whole bunch of shit that's come out. So
yeah,
I'm definitely gonna check it out. You being kind of like a fan of this lore and this story in this universe and be like, no, it's a solid watch. You should definitely check it out. Makes me more excited to check it out.
And I had tempered my expectations because, like you said, like we've kind of, it's hit or miss with Lord of the Rings right now. But it was a very welcome surprise. Very good.
Nice. Okay. Hell yeah, bro.
Well, that makes me happy for you, Graham, because we did not get to watch good shit. We watched dog shit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I should just watch this shit, bro.
It's very unfortunate that we spent the 2 hours watching freaking Crash Out, then The Hunter. And it's very unfortunate that this is the end of the episode. Another thrilling episode is in the books. Huge shout out to everybody still tapping in with us here at the tail end of 2024. We're getting ready to knock out the rest of this year and do 2025. So follow us on all platforms at Cinestro Corp. No S. Follow AZ on the platforms at Tari Singo, twitch.tv/Tari Singo. Follow Backstage OL. All these ats and everything will be in the ticker. And of course, as always, give us a big follow, share our page to all your friends and family, share it to the Rohirrim. I said it right this time because I'm on the break. But
only
it is what it is.
46 minutes, bro.
We're the kings of the screen, yeah. Cinestro core, we're the dream, yeah. New episode Saturday afternoon. We in your ear, that comic book crew. More good it takes what we do. Cinestro core.